thought I would share our favorite pizza recipe. We've been making this for about 10 years, and actually every Sunday night we make homemade pizza. Come on over and watch me make it. First of all, you're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 430, and I always line a USA baking pan with parchment so I don't have to worry about the pizza sticking to it. Okay, we're gonna have 1 cup of warm water added to the bowl. You don't want it hot or it's going to kill the yeast. After your 1 cup of warm water, you're gonna add 1 level tablespoon of yeast. And then you're gonna let the yeast sit there in the bowl for about 2 minutes and it's gonna start dissolving. Sometimes I get a fork and I kind of swirl it around to help it dissolve faster. And when you see bubbles, you know your yeast is good and it's working. If you don't ever see bubbles, then your yeast might be old or bad. Okay? And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now mix this up with the fork really good. And then we're going to add 2.5 tablespoons of canola oil. And then stir it again. Now we're gonna add 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And do it a little bit at a time or it will be way too hard to stir. Sometimes I don't have to add quite all of it. And then I'll use the rest to sprinkle on the counter as I roll out the dough so it doesn't stick to the counter. Yeah, I don't think I need to use it all today. So we are going to knead this dough a little bit and then we're going to roll it out on the counter with flour sprinkled. I put my dough out here on the counter and I kneaded it a few times. I should have shown that on the camera, but I wasn't thinking. I had paused the camera for something. So anyways, we are going to start rolling this out. Now, if the dough feels sticky at all, or it starts to stick to your rolling pin, you just put flour on your rolling pin, just like that, and it will be fine. This makes a sheet pan pizza. So, like right there, I felt it stick, so I'm gonna grab some flour, just kind of rub it on there. You don't want sticky dough. And you can move it around with your hands, like play around with it, do whatever. And I forgot to also tell you that the quick rise yeast is the best, but you can use whatever. It's just with the active dry, you have to let it sit for a little bit before you mix it. Like the yeast needs to set in the water for like 5 minutes, I think. But I normally just use the quick rise. And sometimes the dough gets a little deformed looking and it's not the same. So you can just kind of pinch it together or fix it with your fingers. This looks about right. Sometimes my measurements are off and I rolled it to where it was too big and it didn't fit the pan or not long enough. But this looks about right. So we're going to transfer this over to the baking sheet and then we will put our toppings and our sauce and cheese on. The dough looks about right in the pan. And now we're going to add our sauce. I got this from Walmart. I think it's about $2 and we really like it and it's easy to pour out of the bottle. So let's go ahead and do that. It's really rich and thicker, which I like thicker sauce. And I'm going to use my cupcake scoop to spread it out because it works very well. We like a lot of sauce on our pizza. We do not like it dry at all. Okay, that looks about right. And now we're going to add our cheese. You're going to need about 2 cups of cheese, and I did 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of Colby Jack. Spread out the cheese a little bit with my fingers. Don't worry, my hands have been washed. And then you can add whatever toppings. And we normally either do bacon or pepperoni. Sometimes we just do cheese, but most everybody likes meat on their pizza. Every once in a while sausage, but most of the time no. We just do pepperoni or bacon. And when I do bacon, I just do the microwavable bacon because it's really easy and I'm all for easy. This is actually a perfect amount and I didn't even count or measure or anything. I just did it. We're gonna put this in the oven at 430 for about 17 minutes. All right, we're gonna take it out of the oven. It's nice and golden brown on the top, which is the way we like it. I'm gonna let this cool for about 2 minutes and then I'm gonna put it on the counter and cut it. Okay, the pizza's cut. Here's what it looks like. Yummy goodness. If you do make the recipe, leave me a comment and let me know. And as always, have a good day and God bless you. And please subscribe for more content.